UFO mystery, time travelers or visitors from other worlds. Some conspiracy theorists conclude that UFOs are not associated with aliens from space, but are purely terrestrial phenomena that have been observed by humans throughout the history of civilization. One hypothesis is that UFOs may be time machines in which our distant descendants visit the past for research or tourism purposes. The great distance to nearby stars, where there may be planets with intelligent life, is the main argument of skeptics who believe that UFOs are not alien ships. After all, even at a speed close to light, interstellar travel will take decades, if not centuries. Contrary to the extraterrestrial hypothesis of the origin of UFOs, they offer other explanations for the phenomenon. One is the version of time travel. If UFOs are actually the time machines that our descendants use to travel back in time, a lot of the weird stuff that goes with it becomes clear. The first is the lack of contact and the attitude of non-interference in Earth affairs taken by UFO pilots. As is well known, any changes in the past have implications for the future. It is therefore dangerous not only to raise our level of knowledge, but even to change the fate of individuals. There may be some interference, but it is certainly safe or favorable for the future. Secondly, there is an explanation for the degree of arrogance shown by UFO pilots when dealing with people and collecting materials for their research. They are not guests on this planet, and our lack of understanding in solving environmental problems and squandering of non-terrestrial resources probably caused them a lot of trouble in the future. Third, from the standpoint of this hypothesis, the presence of the phenomenon throughout human history becomes clear, its descendants studying their past. Certain metamorphoses of UFOs become understandable, which almost always corresponded to the views of people of a certain time. In the late 19th and early 20th centuries, they were zeppelins. In the middle of the 20th century, they were planes and rockets. And today they are alien spaceships. Fourth, time machines must necessarily be flying machines. Because when you go on a time journey from a level ground, you risk not knowing that 300 years ago there was some kind of a barn. And the appearance of a time machine right in this barn threatens serious trouble, not only the owners of this building, but also the time travelers themselves. This is why UFOs always materialize or disappear above ground. The possibility of time travel is now seriously considered by many famous physicists. Even the appearance of the pilots to some extent corresponds to the understanding of scientists about our remote descendants. Because of the development of the brain will significantly increase the size in the head, and the body will become very fragile, because the need for physical work will disappear. Perhaps because of the ozone holes, and the surface of the planet turned into a landfill of nuclear or other waste, descendants will have to move underground altogether. That's why their eyes will be so big, and their skin so gray and hairless. In an underground life, excessive growth is an obstacle. Therefore, UFO pilots are usually no more than 1.5 meters. The genetic experiments of the so-called aliens are becoming clear. The descendants are simply trying to reclaim a more or less healthy organism from their distant ancestors. After all, many ufologists point to the similarity of our biological structure with aliens. There may also be an attempt to reconstruct any lost pets. This explains the discovery of the same corpses of cattle with removed reproductive organs and other mysterious injuries. It is believed that UFOs are present at all significant historical events. Because in order to get to the right place in time, you need to know in advance when this or that event will happen. If we are dealing with the phenomenon of UFOs with time travel, it is not surprising that UFO pilots have such information. It is possible that some governments know that UFOs are time machines and have even been in contact with our descendants. However, Information about the future can be classified as it causes anxiety worldwide and will cause great losses to a number of countries. Let it be known that the same nuclear waste will cause a global environmental disaster in the future. To avoid it, it is necessary to cover up nuclear power and to look for new ways to obtain energy. He will also now decide to shut down the nuclear plant, and he will also think about the future when the present is threatened. Of some interest is also the excessively frequent appearance of UFOs, and sometimes quite a caricature of the arriving aliens. It is unlikely that future scientific research is being carried out to such an extent. Maybe time travel has become a very lucrative business for our descendants, and many tourists from the future come to our past. With the ability to remotely induce certain visual hallucinations in humans, that is, to instill in us its appearance, some jokers may well mock the dark ancestors, posing to them that useless robot with a button on his stomach, some kicking with round eyes and claw hands. And the tourist business implies the presence of some souvenirs. Where can you get without affecting the future? Of course, at the bottom of the oceans for the history of mankind, in the holds of sunken ships there accumulated a lot of rare things. From a unique Chinese porcelain, for example, to gold figurines links. It has long been noticed that UFOs often dive to the bottom of the oceans and seas. Maybe UFO pilots are looking for souvenirs of the current state of affairs. It is becoming clear that in the future, society is unlikely to get rid of criminals, terrorists, and fanatics. It is possible that such criminal personalities may from time to time seize time machines and go back to the past for treasure or deal in other dark affairs. If this is possible, then there should be a time travel service ready to catch or destroy criminals. Such assumptions explain the occasional real battles between UFOs, in which even the destruction of individual plates occurs. The supposed control of descendants over us is possible, and there are positive aspects. It is possible that in some cases, they do interfere in earthly affairs. Remember at least the riddle of the Tunguska meteorite. Maybe it didn't explode above the ground, it was destroyed, because during this catastrophic event, some eyewitnesses observed UFOs in the sky. The existence of our civilization is now seriously threatened by the asteroid Apophis, which is likely to collide with our planet in 2036. Can the UFO pilots help us with this problem? Many ufologists and scientists have expressed doubts that UFOs are extraterrestrial ships. Carl Sagan, who did not believe much in the extraterrestrial origins of UFOs, had calculated that a civilization that wanted to visit all its brethren mines in the universe every year would send up to 10,000 ships on an interstellar journey. If we consider Earth a place of regular expeditions, then, according to Sagan, it is necessary to recognize the uniqueness of our planet in the universe, which conflicts with the thesis about the plurality of inhabited worlds. The well-known explorer Jacques Vauquelin and Arnold, who discovered the era of flying saucers by observing UFOs in 1947, argued at the end of his life that it was a manifestation of special life forms inhabiting the Earth's upper atmosphere. Of course, the hypothesis that UFOs are time machines has no doubt a right to exist. However, the presence of any extraterrestrial intelligence on the same moon is not very consistent with this hypothesis. And what happens to the huge cigar-shaped objects a few kilometers long, seen on a satellite of the Earth, is still unclear. And these lunar UFOs are hardly time machines. Thank you all very much for your attention. If you like this material, please like it, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell so as not to miss all announcements on the channel about the phenomenon of UFOs. We talk a lot here, and we will discuss this phenomenon further. So please, in order not to miss all alerts, updates on the channel, subscribe also to Telegram, so you will definitely be aware of all events on the channel UFOLord. And of course, write a comment. What do you think? Are UFOs really time machines? Or are they still guests from other planets and galaxies? All positive, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.